Welcome to Journey Now, a podcast about following Jesus that takes on serious issues without ever taking itself too seriously. Each week, the pastors, staff, and friends of Journey Church in Brentwood, Tennessee, gather to catch up, share life together, and laugh a little. Okay, a lot. Maybe too much. But along the way, they also explore what it really means to bring heaven to earth, share Jesus' hospitality, and live cross-shaped lives. Part Babble, part Bible, and occasionally even thoughtful and entertaining, this is Journey Now.
No, I don't compost.
Do you compost?
Have we started?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway.
Welcome to a Journey Now podcast.
Very
What do we want to talk about?
What are we going to talk about?
Tim?
I don't know. How was your weekend?
Oh, yeah.
My weekend.
Yeah, you had a
Bye.
cool weekend.
Tim
Timmons.
Timmons.
I want
Yes.
to hear about your
The weekend
weekend.
update with Tim
Yeah,
Timmons.
weekend update.
And friends.
Yep.
Jane? No, I can't say that. Oh!
Well, you're on your back. The meter's running. There it is. I got you, Kev. I got you. My weekend. So I went to the Californias.
Saturday Night Live reference.
I went to the Californias and to the Oaks specifically. It's Bob Goff's retreat
Oh,
center.
that's right. That's right.
And so I've been going to St. Quentin
Yeah.
decent amount. I guess
Well,
4
yeah,
or 5
with
times
that,
like that.
ankle bracelet, you have to stop
Yes.
in once in a while.
Thank you,
Tim.
Kevin.
Yep.
So I've just made friends there, and Bob is there, I think, the past 10 years, every 2 weeks, something like that,
Wow.
teaching classes. And it's not anything that he really promotes, or it's just classic Bob to not promote these beautiful things he's doing, but just goes and does it.
Yeah.
So anyways, he invited Hillary and I to come and hang out with a bunch of people and do a Dream Big retreat. And there just happened to be 20 ex-cons there, parolees from San Quentin that have been out in the past year.
Cool.
Guys that have kind of gone through his classes. And so each of them brought a plus one. So significant other, their mom, their best friend.
Okay.
And we just all dreamed about our
That's
lives
beautiful.
together and what purpose looks like and
Nice.
how is the world better because we're in it.
That sounds
So
like a
you
Bob
had
Goff
you had
thing to do.
millionaires there. You had you had a professional basketball player there.
Oh, yeah? Which
you had
one?
just me, dorky guy,
Which professional
a
basketball?
guy,
Tim Timmons.
and
If he told you, he'd have to kill you.
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh.
no, it's so.
Dang
It wasn't like, hey, let's get some really cool people and then ex-cons. It was just Bob just collects people.
Yeah.
And so we all had the
That's
most
cool.
beautiful weekend. And having my wife there was because you can tell somebody about my San Quentin experience and my friends.
Yeah.
But to have them show up there and hear what they're doing, what they're learning.
Yeah.
I mean, these men, I've told her how just beautiful some of these men are. Just incredible, beautiful, like Jesus transformed humans.
Wow.
And so for her to sit there and watch and become friends and it's just so beautiful. So
Nice.
That's
yeah,
awesome.
Yeah. And we're finishing our book today. So I will
Great.
leave this and I will go finish a book today. So that's
Wow.
kind of exciting.
You've decided you're finishing today.
No, it's been told to us. We are finishing our book.
Understood.
Damn it. Today. Yeah.
It's a Christian publisher, so maybe
Yes,
they
yes.
didn't say damn it.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
That's a DAM.
yes.
Yes.
Is that going to get
Anyways,
bleeped
it was
out?
great weekend. No, damn it is I think okay.
I was curious because I was listening to the podcast from last week with Will McCauley, and he said something that was bleeped out multiple times. I don't know if that was for comedic effect or if it was actually...
He asked me to bleep out her name.
Okay.
yeah. Yeah.
Got you.
So if you say something inappropriate or a name that you
Every
don't
other
want
Was
way.
I here for
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I was looking at this coaster, which says something inappropriate, so I'm not going to say that out loud.
Layla, we didn't invite you here to call us out. We did not do that. That's not why you're here.
We were
okay?
talking
Hey,
about
Layla.
Bob Goff.
Know
I'm
your
sorry.
role, okay? It is not to correct your elders.
I saw another interesting piece of decoration at the McCauley's house that was another word, and I said, "Who's this from?" And they said, "Susie." What? You know what I'm talking about?
I have
that
no
was
idea
before
what
she
you're talking
stopped
about.
cussing.
She has a jar of them.
Yeah.
Sorry.
How was your weekend, people?
Yeah. How was your table?
It was full. It was a full weekend. Lori and I hosted a table. We had a great time. We had a couple littles over. We had a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old. I think they had the best time.
That's great. I'm sure they did.
Yeah. We have all the things.
Lori is like the
She just gets them.
she's just like the traveling grandma. Like she just like you show up and that's what her role
Nailing
is.
it.
She just nails it. Yeah.
Yep.
Hashtag goals. Grandparent goals.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. You'll be great at it, I think.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you'll be a great
I think
one.
your grandkids will adore you.
Yeah. Something will happen.
What are they going to call you?
I don't know.
That's weird.
Yes, I guess
That
it's
would be
weird.
weird.
That might not go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna think about it. Maybe that's
Maybe
all
give
it
us
has.
some more thought.
Yeah. Nah.
Do I need to bleep that out?
Yes, actually. Would you please verify the time? It's 34:71. Bleep that out, just so nobody knows what I just said. That's hilarious. And actually, if you would, people, if you're watching or listening, would you just put in the comments what you think I said?
Yes. Okay.
Well, that's it. We've had a great podcast, everybody.
A great podcast.
Yeah.
I want to read the comments
Yeah.
now. That'll
Yeah.
be worth the
Yes,
time.
please comment.
Oh, I can
anonymously.
already. I'll bet this is what it's called. That's the episode
Yes. Yeah, Grant, name that.
of. Speaking of that, Layla, how was your weekend?
It was good. I'm trying to think what I did this weekend. It felt full. I was mostly, this is so lame to talk about the weather, but it was like 20 degrees cooler than
So
it's
nice.
been,
We used our patio.
which is weird. I'm like,
It's
this
so
is
nice.
kind of crazy. I'm used to like suffocating when I go outside. So,
Yeah.
spent some time outside, saw some
Yeah.
friends,
Nice.
enjoyed some dinners and meals with people. Yeah, it was good.
Nice. Get some
Yeah.
coffee at a coffee shop anywhere?
Let me think. Did I go to a coffee shop this weekend? Probably, but actually, if I'm going to promote anything, there's a new place called It's in
I'm sorry,
Germantown.
say that again.
It's
Is that
I
all
think
one word or is that 2 words?
I think they use it as one word. But it's a new coffee shop that was started by another restaurant called Kisser in town, and it's a Japanese
Also
style
one word.
bakery. Yes, also
So
one
is
word.
it named after the family's youngest child?
Who? What? Maybe. I don't think so, but that's a nice
Good guess.
anecdote. Yeah.
Not
Anyway,
an anecdote, it's a guess.
it's a good guess. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. Ooh, I'm feeling a little sorry for saying that.
Really?
No.
Will you bleep out that as well?
Yeah, please. There are gonna be
Bleep
like
out
endless
what she
bleeps in
named
this.
these places.
Please.
Did you
Also, I would
did you
love
play
to
any
pimp
music
this place
weekend?
called.
Did you play any music this weekend?
I didn't play anything this weekend. Nothing.
Well,
But I have some shows coming up.
we
namely-
should put a link to the show notes to Luna Lay.
Yes,
right.
actually, that would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, please.
Did you do a show at my son's building?
Yeah. We did a show at Primitive
Coffee.
back in May.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
That's your son's building?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so interesting.
Yep. They lease out to Primitive Coffee.
Gosh,
Yeah,
I
it's
want
a
you
cool
to believe
building.
all these names, like everything that's
Yeah.
being said. Just give
IV
those bleeps.
Studios owns the building there.
Yeah.
Right. And they make board games. There you go.
There you go.
Anything else you want to know?
Yeah. Wow.
All right. Susie,
What?
you went shopping? Groceries? Because your
No,
boys showed
I
up?
didn't go grocery shopping. So Mike and I actually did a
I know it.
Voxology non-ference.
Oh, that's right.
Yep.
Yeah, tell us about that.
We call it a non-ference because it's not a conference. And we had 30 people from the Voxology podcast community who have experienced church hurt and in several cases abuse. And they are trying to sort out what community within the body of Christ looks like now. So, and we had Beth Barkus, who is executive director, or she runs Porter's Call, which is a counseling organization for artists here in town. She came
right.
and she did a couple of group sessions and walked us through some trauma.
Eggs.
No, she didn't do the
Awareness?
trauma eggs, but we did the trauma eggs the first night, which was crazy. And then she kind of walked us through some recovery things after that.
Nice.
So yeah, it was really good. And it ended on Saturday afternoon. And so then Saturday night, my family and I went to Deg Thai to celebrate Steve's birthday.
Delicious.
Is that by Baby Chan?
It's by
Yes.
her house.
Oh.
It's by Layla's house.
Yes, Dave, I also want to
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah. So that was
Yeah.
good.
Cool. Yeah.
Kev?
Yeah. That's something on my.
No, I'm asking you about your weekend.
Okay.
He already told
didn't
us
see that
about his
coming?
weekend.
Okay. Yeah. The other thing I did was I helped my daughter-in-law organize her garage because I have spatial capacity to organize things.
Can you come over and do that at my house?
Sure.
Wow.
I got skills.
Do you like Tetris by any chance?
I do.
Question is, do you like Tetris by any chance?
And
have
Tim,
to
are you
bleep
the
that out.
moderator?
Last Friday, my manager said, "Hey, we've got to get rid of all your stuff in my storage unit." So I rented a U-Haul, and so my garage is now Tim's store.
Ooh.
So maybe I'll have you come over.
What is it, all merch?
Selling things?
Just merch, like old merch that I thought, ooh, this will work.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
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 Any good cups?
I mean, sounds
Yes.
like you have Christmas white elephant.
Oh my
nailed
God.
Oh
for
my
years.
gosh! Oh my gosh! For the
rest
whole
of his
church,
life.
That
the
is
entire church,
hilarious.
kind of like the donuts that happened this past weekend.
Yeah.
I'll basically bring all my
All
merch,
of
and
it.
everybody gets a T-shirt.
There you
And
go.
every one of those T-shirts I've bought. Just so you know. You know what I mean? That's the thing. I bought every one of those T-shirts, and then I'm giving them away.
Yeah.
I tried to give them away to Goodwill. They're like, no.
Do
we'll
any of
only
them say
take-"
hot guy on them?
No.
No? Okay, just checking.
Anywho, so what happened this
So-
past weekend?
Kevin taught on Sunday.
Oh, we're gonna
Third
talk
week
about
in a
that.
And Kevin for the last 3 weeks has been like preaching out of his heart.
Awesome.
And Layla had an amazing question at the end of the 9 o'clock that I think we thought
Yeah,
deserves
it's a good question.
some further conversation because Layla always has great
Can you
questions.
give preface of the content, and then we'll go to her?
Are you writing the preface for your book today?
That was my hope.
That was your
Right
hope?
now. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I thought I'd ask.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
because.
what chapter of your message do you like?
Yeah, the end.
Yeah.
When we put a bow on it. That would be the conclusion.
Yes.
Just so we're clear. And the topic sentence kind of goes like this. We live in an age where freedom is being pushed into the arena of license. So it's freedom in an age of license. And I went through the exercise of just defining for everybody in the room how to define freedom and license, and how freedom actually is regulated by our own conscience, our own view of how we can relate to one another, whereas license kind of disregards other people and moves you into an arena where you kind of just do whatever you want. And we kind of live in a world, not kind of, we live in a world where license is kind of encroached upon freedom, where, name calling has become pretty normal, bullying online, social media is full of license. Just like, I'm going to say what I want because I can hide behind my keyboard and just launch it out
Screen courage.
Screen courage. Yep, that's like Baby Chan, one word. So we tried to navigate this and walk down the path of Galatians 6, where Paul says, "Hey, you're free, and your freedom, you were set free so that you could live a life that is to reflect the kingdom, basically." And he sets them juxtaposed to the ways of the world, self-promotion, versus for the community versus the virtues of the Spirit. So that's basically what we kind of walked that path. And then I pulled a couple passages out of 1 Corinthians where we talked briefly about what it is where he says, everything is permissible, but not quite everything is beneficial. So he tried to explain how freedom gone astray leads you astray into places you don't want to go.
And he specifically uses the example of meat sacrificed to idols.
Yes.
And how for some people that's fine and for some people it's not.
Right. And so you're free to do it, but to to use your freedom to cause others to stumble is an abuse of your freedom. So you self-regulate.
Yeah.
Or the community helps regulate you. So I thought that was the tougher of the three that I did. That's just a tough line because people are like, well, what if it doesn't hurt anybody? That was one of the questions I got was like, well, what if it doesn't matter? I said, well, if it hurts you, then it hurts the community.
Yeah.
So you can't just pretend like, and I used an example. I learned about license when I was 6. Christmas Day, my mom got a box of turtle candies. You know what the turtle candies are? Milk chocolate, pecans, and caramel in shape like a little turtle. And there was a big box of those mothers. And I ate half of them in an hour. And there were consequences, both natural consequences for that.
Yeah.
Coupled with parental consequences.
Yeah.
And then the ripple effect to that was I ruined everybody's Christmas because I did it. I ate my mom's present. I got sick. Everybody was like, what the?
Yeah.
Yeah. So. And
That's a good example.
And
actually.
it was talked about for years after.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think he just coughed one up, just so you know. I think a turtle, just hit Edwin across
Wait.
the room.
There's a chunk on my mic.
Okay, so Layla, you asked a really, I thought a really important question. So you want to ask it, but then also like kind of elaborate on like what's behind it.
Yeah. Even hearing you talk about it again was helpful because it stirred up some of what I was thinking.
That's where I go. Yes, I'm here to stir.
Kevin just shot another one straight
Something is
across the
stirring
room.
inside of you, I think.
Baby
is
Chan.
what's happening. Something's not quite right.
Baby turtles were okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that like a Baby Yoda, only different?
Edwin, you might have to do some more editing.
Yeah. So I think my question was kind of like threefold. The first part of it, if it can have threefold, I don't know.
You can.
The first part was just like, if we're talking about freedom and license and how license is kind of like the corruption of freedom or the overexertion of what I believe to be right, like, I think it's hard to know objectively how we define good, like good moral, ethical pursuit of like what it looks like to live as a Jesus follower, especially I think in light of what that last question you just talked about had come up of someone saying, but what if it like doesn't hurt anybody else? Like, is it bad that I do this thing in private or whatever if it doesn't really matter? So then that was kind of filtering into my next question, which was on the realm of like sin management. And if we're looking at like living in our freedom, living in good ethics, living like Jesus, how do I do that while managing my sin, but not making it all about that? And how do I do that in community if specifically what I'm doing doesn't feel like it matters to someone else, or if that other person or my community has a different opinion about what is right or wrong? So that's kind of that's where that comes from, is just this idea of practically speaking, like, I hear what you're saying, but how do we do that when we don't all have the same idea of what exactly is freedom versus license?
Right.
Someone might define their use of their power or whatever they're doing in a way that is okay, but might not benefit someone else.
Sure. But are they willing? The question would be, are they willing to, for the sake of another, not do that?
Yeah, but then how do you get someone on the same page as you, or a multitude of people if you're in a community and you have a different opinion about that? I think it's hard to do that, to get everybody on the same page. And I think that, like, hypothetically speaking, we should all know what it is to live a life like Jesus, but it also isn't clear because we have different ideas of who Jesus is and what he would or wouldn't do, or how he would or wouldn't approach a conversation with someone who has a different belief than you do. So then when you're like in the context of, I'm in a group of people and we all have kind of like different perceptions of how this manifests itself, but we all follow the same Jesus.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly how we do that.
We
given
ask
our
the question,
differences.
what would be the fruit? We ask the question, what ultimately comes of it? We can't, in the moment, we're all going to make mistakes. We're all going to kind of go, I probably shouldn't have done that. And that's okay. And thus we have the avenue of forgiveness. We have the avenue of, you know what, I my goal was not to do that. please forgive me. So that's part of the equation of all of this. Because when I abuse my freedom and I move into the arena where I cause somebody else harm, or I hurt somebody, or I disrupt unity, I do something unintentionally, I still own that and go, I misjudged the situation. Please forgive me. I think the other part of this, which I think we all kind of wrestle with, is if we think we're right and the other person is wrong, are we able to forgo our rightness? I didn't say this on Sunday, but are we able to forgo our rightness for the sake of the brother that would stumble if I chose my rightness? Being right isn't the right answer.
I mean, that was what I was thinking when you were giving that example. I was like, you sound like a really good person when you're like, someone comes to me and says, hey, you wronged me. And you're like, you're right. I wronged you. Like, that is not me 90% of the time.
Sure, right.
Because I feel strongly about what I'm right or wrong about. You know what I mean?
Right. But there's it's the example of the meat offered to the sacrifice to the idols in the days when you could go to the market and buy meat that was offered. They took the meat that obviously the idol didn't do anything with, and they sold it in the marketplace. And some people in the community of the followers of Jesus were like, yeah, I can buy that and eat it. And some people couldn't. The reality was that was a position of conscience, right? So let's say I felt like I had the freedom to do that, and Tim was like, no, that's not cool, don't do that. I have a choice to make then with my freedom, right? I can forgo that for myself for the sake of Tim, so it doesn't cause him to stumble. Or I can say, too bad, Tim, I'm going to do it anyway. But
you could take that example further and say, like, if you guys were having dinner together.
Sure.
And he was coming to your house for dinner.
Right.
Would you serve him food sacrificed to idols? Would you make that for the common meal?
Right.
Whereas if he wasn't coming over for dinner and it was just you and Lori and you were looking for a bargain on meat, you might get it and it's fine.
Right.
So it kind of all depends, I think, too, on
in good conscience, I could
context.
Eat it. But in a situation where somebody else in good conscience couldn't do it,
right?
Then you don't do it because it causes disunity, and the goal is unity. The goal,
and unity isn't all same belief.
No,
unity is like a knit together of hearts and being. So it's not that we would think the same about everything or believe the same about everything, but it's that we are in mutual submission to one another, that we care for one another, that we're carrying one another's burdens, that we're a family together, but that doesn't mean that we aren't going to have differing perspectives.
I can give real life situations.
I would love to hear real life.
Because we very seldom,
so ethereal.
Very seldom off,
you know?
You know, except for Tim, you know, you do get that meat once in a while from the
I do. Sue me.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. So early on in our ministry, we were in our 20s, and we had wine in the house, and we did the whole thing, and we had some people over from the church, and got the bottle of wine out, and realized we just offended the room. You could just tell by the looks on there. Nobody said anything, but you could tell. Would you like a glass of wine was stated, and the answer to that question was, of course not. Okay. So we had stepped into something that we were free to do where everybody else in the room was not. So we had a choice to make at that time. We could sit and drink wine in front of them, which we chose not to. We just put it away and went with, hey, so you want a soda? You want some water? You want something? And it shifted, but there was also what ended up happening was there was a sense of judgment that came our way. The judgment was that somehow we had missed a assignment of Jesus's that we weren't supposed to drink. And so in that regard, our freedom caused the whole room to stumble in the way that they treated us.
That's really good example.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Because it goes a step further in, like, you didn't cause them to stumble in
No,
like
I
the
didn't.
sense of like
Have a drink.
in the sense of like they were offended or that they were
Right.
or even if like one of them is a recovering alcoholic that you were tempting them,
Right.
You cause them to stumble in the way they actually treated someone else, which is like, I mean, I don't ever go that far in thinking about other people. You know?
Yeah,
I mean,
that's hard too, though, because that's also some of that's their stuff.
I know, but it also is
Like if we did that with everything,
right.
would we
Be able to do
Could
anything.
I wear this tight shirt?
Right.
I don't
Well, I
want to
know.
brag about how tight
Right,
the look of the
Grandpa.
shirt is, but like, is there?
I don't
feels
know.
like everybody's offended
it
by
was
something.
Really
Yeah.
clear. It was really clear
Totally. In this example,
that it
yes,
that it had turned to, oh, we're better than you.
yeah,
And I was like, oh, wow. And it wasn't. It was overt enough for you to go,
I do think we could talk about the tight shirt analogy a little further, though. You know, because
okay.
I think some of this is like, it's not just sin management or behavior modification. It's requiring you to be a community. So, for example, if I had a daughter, which I don't, so that's why it's an example.
yeah, perfect.
Okay.
If I had a daughter,
Here we go.
and we were part of a community that had a church camp that she was going to attend, and there was a dress code, because I mean, this is the example that we deal with a lot, especially as women. So if, for example, there was a dress code at this camp, whether it was one-piece bathing suits only or no spaghetti strap tank tops, you can't have your midriff showing, like
Right.
all the things that
Right.
are like anti what every girl is wearing these days.
Right.
Then I have a choice as a concerned parent to go to the people who made those rules and talk with them about why it is that is in place. And if they come back to me and say, we just like, everybody has different body shapes and we don't want anyone to feel bad about themselves, and we just want to like have fun and not have this be like a distraction, because clothing and style and fashion is already such a distraction for
Yeah.
that age group, that, you know, like we just want to eliminate that as much as we can. You know, it's not a normal thing. It's just like this week away. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's one way to consider that. And then I have the choice as a parent to think that through and think, is that like, does that make sense to me? Does it work with my family ethos? Does it all that? Now, if they were to come back to me and say, well, we have 50% boys coming and 50% girls coming, and we don't want the boys to be tempted by the girls' bodies. And like, it's put on one side of the population to manage the mindset of the whole population, that I don't think is right. And so again, I don't think that's right. So I then get to decide, how does that affect my child's body image? How does that affect my child's view of personhood and who they are as a young girl, as a sexual being, as like all of these things? And is that good for her to go away for a week and be told that she has to cover her body because it causes problems for a man? Then that's a different conversation. And then that in turn pushes me to think, is this a community in which I have, that I can be on the same page as? Can I live in unity with this community? Because this is just one instance that reflects a greater ethos of the community. So I get to decide, A, is this community right for me? B, is there space for me to have further conversation in this community, because maybe they're not thinking about it in the same way I am, and I can bring up my concerns and show them how harmful that sort of ideology can be and has been. And we could either have a conversation where one of us moves a position and we can come into agreement and continue to live in unity among each other as a small community, or I can say, you know what? I love you and we serve the same Christ and we love the same Christ, but I think I need to go to another community where my daughter feels safer and has more space to be who she is without like, going nutso, but like
Without the law.
But in a reasonable way. I can trust that my daughter is going to be in a community where the youth group isn't going to harm her the way she looks at herself and the way she operates and lives in the world as a young woman with a changing body, So there's that conversation in and of itself is so nuanced. And for years and years and years, we've said, this is the law, one-piece bathing suits. And why? And like, there's generations of women who have been harmed by that. Yeah. And so, like, I think that is a to me, that's what an example that I think of, that like, it can be really like a short conversation based on law, or it could be a longer conversation based on grace and relationship and edification, mutual edification, and human flourishing even, Yeah. So to me, that's where like my daughter is, if I had a daughter, she has the quote unquote freedom and the license to wear the shortest of shorts and the shortest of tops. And she would look normal out there in the world right now with, the way current fashion is, but is that good for her? And is that good for the community? I don't know.
But that's the crux of my question is, she might think it's freedom and another person will think it's license. Yep. And sure, she can go to a different community that thinks it's freedom, but then how do we abstain from judging the community that thinks it's license? Yeah. And how do we have real unity with other Christians and within the body of Christ if we have, quite honestly, like really polarizing, because it's a swimsuit, but it's so much more than a swimsuit.
Right. And then also, like you brought up the saying that with like the main things, unity, how does it go? Unity and charity. I'm blanking on the way the thing goes.
What thing?
The saying that like...
Oh, not everything is beneficial? But
no, but like with the thing that your congregation said, that's like a thing that people say that with the main things...
Yeah, we agree on the essentials and there's grace in the non-essentials.
Yeah, so is that an essential or a non-essential?
And we get to decide as individuals.
Well, I mean... And this goes back to how we're governed, right? Law is an external pressure. The heart is the internal conviction. You can make a lot of people comply through outside pressure, but it's not their conviction. And something in them is being violated when an outside law shapes the behavior.
Yeah.
Whereas as compliance to, and I tried to make this picture with the center set idea is, I'm focused on Jesus. I want to be like Jesus.
Yeah.
And so in my pursuits of Jesus in the kingdom of God, what he's saying is when you come into that, you're bringing with you the kingdom of God. You're bringing peace and joy and patience and kindness and long suffering, all those things with you as you enter in. And whereas the law kills the soul, because the soul now is being cajoled into obedience as opposed to surrendering into obedience as we walk with Jesus. And the law generally is built around the idea of external behavioral modification instead of a heart change. And so that's where I think freedom comes into play. I as I've gotten older, I'm far less interested in having people agree with me on non-essential things. I used to be very interested in that. Now I'm like, let's talk about who Jesus is, and if we're all moving in that direction, I'm with you. Yeah. And whether you're Catholic or whether like when we were growing up, Catholic was like odd bounds. Like I grew up in
they were not Christians.
Yeah, they were in a different category.
Yeah.
Orthodox was in a different category.
So sad.
No, I mean it was.
Yeah.
And you were just taught that because they didn't really have the same gospel. And I'd be like, and as I got older, I was like, yeah, but those people act more like Christians than the people I hang out with that say they're Christians. And you start to realize that somewhere along the line, the division piece of this was an external thing placed on me that I went, oh, I really got to rethink all this. And so in my heart of hearts, you know, if the Catholic dude is pursuing Jesus and I'm pursuing Jesus, let's not focus on how we got there. Let's focus on the center.
Yeah.
And it shifts. It changed my heart towards a lot of people, and also just people in general, because I think they're all trying to work it out.
Yeah.
I think they are.
Having daughters, I mean,
You have daughters?
Yeah.
I have one too.
it's a hard one, Suze, because part of that is like in reaction to what has been, because what has been so harmful. And yet everything that we just talked about right before that was like, and not the rule, but like also how do we honor dudes who, when I see your boob, you know, it's like hard for a dude just to not, like that's really helpful to
Edwin.
not,
Edwin,
yeah,
did you hear that?
cut that out, boob. Like it's a good thing if I'm
He's playing words with friends.
yeah.
He's texting.
He didn't even wake up when I said boob.
texted me and
Yeah.
I'm keeping track, guys.
Yep, he did just
The
say
word
that.
boob, I was hoping you would just.
So
Oh, hey, what's happening here?
Whoa.
But there's
Not
all.
enough letters for the Wordle.
Yeah, it's true. If you get a calculator and you turn it upside down,
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Sorry. But like, what's the role there? And that's a hard issue. I mean, I know
Yeah.
you're talking about that, but it's like, there even for camp this past camp, I was like to one of my daughters, I was like, "Hey, babe, totally great. That is such a cute two piece." But like, I don't know. That'd be hard if I was a younger dude. That's, you know. So we've had this conversation many times in my home, so they know it's not like, hey, it's all in your part. It's the dude's part too. They've got a part to play in this too.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it just makes it. That's why you said it's so nuanced. But that's the other side of it as the dad and the dude.
Yeah.
But you're a dad who's in relationship with your daughters in such a way that you can talk them through that
Yeah.
and help them understand. So the obedience comes after understanding. Whereas I think in some cases,
Just
like
the
we
rule.
talked about this on Sunday,
We did.
that, you know, I was told for a long time, obedience precedes understanding. And so that's hard because, yeah, maybe in some cases, but also like you're bringing your daughter's hearts along with that conversation.
Yeah.
And you do that with everything. I know your daughters, and they are like some of the most remarkable young women I've ever known. All of your kids are. But like that's because you bring them along in a formative way rather than setting rules for them.
Just a
Like,
hard line. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like they are conscious of their environment because of the kindness in their heart,
Yeah.
because they are loving their neighbors.
Right.
It's not that they think they're responsible for this next person's thoughts.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that's very different.
Yeah. They have there's a role that they play, just
Yeah.
like there's a role for the dude. There's like, it's a mutual role.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I just
feel-
don't want to throw the baby out with the bath.
No, and
that's-
I'm
well,
sorry if I
that's the other
sounded
side.
I was like I was doing that, because I definitely don't. I mean, I have 4 boys. I love it when girls dress modestly around them. You know,
Yeah.
but like, and I think about that often, like when they are, you know, around girls that don't. But it's also like not mine to manage,
Yeah.
and it's mine to talk with my boys through it and have an open dialogue with
Yeah.
them through it. But it's not mine or theirs to be responsible for,
Right.
which is where I think, you know, that's where that had become corrupted for a lot of years.
Okay, so the drinking isn't that person responsible for? Were you responsible for if there was a guy that or a girl that had a problem with drinking?
Responsible?
Yeah,
No,
like what-
I'm responsible for how I use my freedom. I'm not responsible necessarily for how you react.
Yeah.
Because also, if you're not willing to lay down some of your freedom, then you might question whether that is actually an idol and not
Correct.
freedom.
Right.
Like if I'm not willing to give up my drink because so-and-so's coming over and I know that they're in recovery and they're like within 30 days of their journey of being sober, and I'm like, screw it. I deserve to have a glass of wine.
Right.
You know,
That-
it's
that's
not
my
my
fear with the
problem.
two-piece.
Then that's like, is that an idol or is it freedom?
Yeah, that's my
And-
fear with the two-piece.
Yeah.
That it's like no, it's their problem. So I'm going to wear my two-piece.
Again,
And-
so the question is why? Why do you need to wear your two-piece? And how are you viewing the freedom that you have to wear that two-piece?
Yeah.
Is it an idol? Is
Yeah.
it like even like our obsession with how we look can be self-idolatry.
Yeah.
Like that's a whole nother conversation to have. That's the conversation to have, not the, poor so-and-so is gonna
But
have
am I
issues.
willing? But am I willing to
Right.
forgo my freedom to benefit the whole, to benefit you?
Yeah.
And if I'm not, I have to answer the question, why not?
Yeah.
I have to answer. And if it's that important to me, have I slipped into a place where it's my right or my license to
Right.
do it?
Yep.
I have license to do this. And Paul would say, you do. You are free to do that, but not everything is beneficial. And so what you learn is in that environment, in that context is, oh, this isn't beneficial for the whole. I need to not do this when I'm with this group of people, or I need to take a step back and ask the question, why do I feel so compelled to
Yeah.
do this? And there are moments when in my class, there's a couple of times where somebody has used the F word in there, and you can see the room go, and is he free or that person free to do that?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Is it beneficial is the question. It's not,
Yeah.
it's not, is it wrong? The question is it beneficial? Those are two different questions. This is the we
It's her
know
question.
Yeah.
Is it beneficial to him? Because he's like,
Yeah.
actually, yes,
Yeah.
it's freedom to
Right.
But to somebody else,
We know what we can't do. We know that we're not free to kill people. We know we're not free to violate certain fundamental essentials. We're not allowed.
yeah,
And then if you do that, then that's not just license. You're going to jail.
you're going to San Quentin. Yeah.
Right. But there are things where you sit in the context of a group of people and you realize, like when we brought out the wine, we didn't know until we did it.
Yeah.
This was not beneficial. So we go, we won't do that again.
What's hard for me is like, do you have to learn from the mistake, or
Sometimes.
like, is someone coming to you preemptively telling you, Kevin, I actually
That'd have been
struggle with
helpful.
this." Right, but like when that doesn't happen, and
Right.
then you kind of after the fact have to go to someone, that's when bridges feel burned. That's when it's like hard to then reconcile something.
That's
But that's life.
That is life. That's the hard part. That's the hard part about being
That's
a part of a
life.
community and
Yeah.
keeping. I've had friends that I've been friends with for 50 years. And we've said we're sorry many times to one another.
And something like that can feel like it could be problematic, but also something like that has the capacity to bring deeper intimacy
Yeah.
Yeah.
to a
Totally.
relationship. I mean, that's what the
Yeah.
gift of conflict is.
Oh.
Depth.
Yeah.
You know?
Sure. Yep.
It says a lot, I think, about like the cultural moment of like people should just know. Like people should just know that it's not okay to say this.
Nope.
Which I think to some degree, like, right, like I think especially within like Gen Z, like there's just the belief that like we all kind of think the same thing. We all have this political leaning or,
Yeah, right.
you know, and like,
We make assumptions.
right.
Yeah.
To then show up and be like, actually, I have this different opinion about
Yeah.
this. Or like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's an opportunity for a relationship and for an intimacy to be built.
Yeah.
But it's scary and it's hard and it's not what like I think we're conditioned kind of.
Sure. It's not easy.
Yeah, even as like a younger person, right,
Uh-huh.
who like hasn't encountered maybe the like depth of pain or hurt within relationships that
Right.
like some of y'all have. It's scary to think about
Right.
going into that and knowing like part of my commitment to a community is almost signing up to say like I'm going to have hard conversations
Yes.
again
Yeah.
and again
Again
and
and
again and
again, yeah.
again.
But you nailed it, and that it's a cultural moment thing because like everything is increasingly polarized. I mean, like today, the headline today is the whole gerrymandering that's happening in Texas and how like all the blue states are now retaliating with gerrymandering, and then the other red states are like ramping up their ideas for it. So we're literally separating people based on ideology.
Yeah.
And what we're communicating to a generation of young people is that's what you do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bold.
And Yeah, and we do it with churches. Like people left Journey in 2020 because we opted to wear masks for a while. And in the name of freedom, actually, ironically, they left and went to other communities that weren't asking their people to wear masks. So it's just so interesting how culturally in every realm we are separating ourselves from one another. And I think, that would be the letter we would be receiving from Paul today if he were writing a letter to us. That would be in that letter. I'm sure other things would be too, but like that would be one of the things is like, you idiots are dividing over stupid things.
Yeah, the non-essentials, the stuff that doesn't matter.
He would say that in Hebrew though, so it would sound a lot better.
With a
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this has been fascinating.
Yes.
There's no harm. That's why the law is so hard and harsh. It's a task master that will tell you this is right and this is wrong.
Yeah.
Whereas the heart, and this is where the law enslaves you, the heart frees you, but it also is gray.
So great.
Layla, I just want to thank you for asking the question and for being willing to come here and talk with us because you have such a beautiful mind and you think about things in ways that we don't always. And I just love the questions that you bring to our community. It's really great.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yep, and thanks for working with Tim. We're out. Bleep.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Journey Now. If for some bizarre reason you liked it, help us spread the word by leaving a review and sharing it on your socials. Journey Now is a production of Journey Church in Brentwood, Tennessee. Edwin Rivera III produces the show and fixes all the guest slurping, gum chewing, coughing, and other annoying sounds. Randy Hansen provides technical assistance even though he denies it. Grant Opperman edits Journey Now and intervenes when necessary to tell the crew that you can't say that. Special shout out to dear listener Brad Erie and dear YouTube watcher Seth Erie. If there's anyone else who makes it through each week, we're so sorry. And thanks
Do
to
you have
you
a filter
too.
going?
Yeah, it's a new vibe.
Okay.
I like it.
I don't. Lori's
don't
bought
like
a
it?
box of overnight, and so we've been eating overnight.
Oh, welcome to the trend.
A box
Kevin?
of overnight?
Yeah, big box of them with all kinds of in it, all kinds of.
Fun.
Am I talking out of the
No.
side of here? Because I'm getting a
No.
look like I get
I-
another head.
Just
Have you ever had it?
I've made overnight.
Yeah. I make overnight.
They come in a box.
No, they come mixed already with all kinds of in them.
Oh,
In a little packet. It's not supposed to be.
Yeah.
It's
But you just said a box, so it was kind of like
with packets of
box of a
so-
box of
and they give you a shaker.
yeah.
You put it in there. You put in there. Put it
Like
ready
a
to go in
cocktail?
the morning.
Oh.
Do you have to heat it
Oh
up?
come on, you guys! You're just
No.
now. How about
No,